reporter in the land. With a smile that lights up every room. When she walks in, the crowd goes boom. Hiya, spreading joy around. Hiya, follow you uptown. Hiya, with a heart so true. Everywhere she goes, she's making news.
Hello, Mr. Smith.
Hello, Maya.
Thank you for being here today. We are going to be asking you some questions. Tell us why you want to be Nail.
Well, I think that I can really help people in Rocky Hill. I think we have a great place here. We have a great town, but I think there's some things that we could do better.
Okay. Would you put slides instead of stairs in town buildings?
You know, I've looked at this issue, and I'm also considering poles. Like they have at the fire station, you have the pole you slide down. Wouldn't that be equally as fun? However, there are some hazards with slides. Have you ever tried to slide down a metal slide?
Oh yes, they're very fast.
And they can get hot.
Oh yeah.
So that's something to be considered. We'll have to get community input for it, but I'm not opposed to it.
Okay. Can you make bedtime an option?
Look, I've tried this before. We all have to sleep at some point. I think that timing can be flexible depending on the time of year. Is it a school night? Do you have something important in the morning? Do you have work in the morning? I don't know. I think ultimately that's a decision that should be made in the home, not necessarily a government issue.
If you could have a pet dragon as your assistant, would you?
As my assistant? I don't know if pet dragons make the best assistants. They're notoriously hard to schedule anything with, because they can just literally fly away. They also can burn your papers easily without even intending to. I think most dragons would prefer to not be in the office all day. Usually they like to work remote, which is not necessarily conducive to, assistance. I'm sorry, there's a lot of no. I'm giving you a lot of no's in this interview. All right.
Do you have any pets?
Of course I do. So we have Winston, who is my Tortie cat. She is 15 years old, and she's very ornery and loud, also very soft. And we have Ava, who is almost 5. That is a rescue Chihuahua mix. The two of them together are a good balance. One has a lot of energy, and like I said, one of them is just very ornery. But they're adorable, and they're about the same size, so it's very convenient.
Do you think Mom and Dad should buy me a pet? No, puppy.
A puppy? Are you? I'm assuming you're going to be taking care of this puppy.
Yes.
You're promising to take it for a walk daily, and pick up after him, and feed him, or her. What kind of puppy do you want?
I was thinking to have a Bernedoodle.
Bernedoodle? Those can be pretty big, right?
Yeah.
I think a compromise may be if you offer up a smaller puppy. Our dog is only 9 pounds, which means she's very easy to pick up after. Bernedoodles have big messes because they're so big. If I were you, and this is off the record, I were you, I would go back to your parents and say, what about if we get something smaller? Does that work for everybody? You still get a puppy, but they're not as worried about cleaning up fur and, as big a mess, right? They're not going to eat as much.
Me?
I always liked big dogs until I got a small one. Tell you what, once you get a Chihuahua or something this big, you don't go back.
Okay. Would you use a magic 8-ball to make big decisions?
Survey says no. I think big decisions cannot just be left up to chance. Just like flipping a coin, we've seen Two-Face in Batman, right? He flips a coin. Not a good idea. I think big decisions take a lot of community input. Because after all, as a mayor, you're the voice of the people that elected you. You're the voice of all the people in town. So any big decision is really not even what I think the best decision is. It's what the whole community thinks the best decision is. And certainly not a random chance in a magic 8-ball.
Can you make a rule that anyone who sneezes in a meeting has to dance?
I think that's an ordinance that we might be able to explore. Is it just one sneeze? Because I'm in favor of if you sneeze 3 times in a row, you have to do the banana dance. You know the banana dance? It's the this is bananas. The ANANAS, and then you spin around. Yeah. 3 sneezes equals a banana dance. 1 time just could be an accident. It could just be pepper. It could be feathers. It just could be a little bit of dust. But if you sneeze 3 times, I think that deserves a dance.
Okay. If people are talking too long, could you use a gong?
Yeah, I think a gong could work. I think there's certainly some meetings that the town has where people can be a little verbose, where people seem to just repeat the same thing over and over. I would be in favor of being a little stricter around time limits so everybody gets a chance to talk. And I do think that a gong sounds a lot better than just hitting a buzzer or a bell. Because a buzzer kind of sounds like rude, Gong, though, that's fun. You got a lot of questions here.
I have a thought as well.
All right.
If aliens came to you because you are our leader, what would you do?
Well, first, I would want to make friends with them. Obviously, they've traveled a long way. Maybe they need a bathroom break. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I traveled even a couple hours, that's the first thing I need when I get here. So I would see if they need anything. I'd want to learn more about their culture, and I would ask them, certainly stay away from our cows, and unless they're just going to pet them, and that they should take a ride on our ferry. They might not be impressed by the ferry, but I would take them to the ferry, and then I'd take them to Dinosaur Park.
Oh, that was...
They've probably seen dinosaurs. They might have seen dinosaurs before, so that might be cool. Well, we're assuming this is the first time they've ever been here. Maybe they were here a long time ago.
Do you think the mayor and Jaws made a good choice by leaving the beach stay open?
Did the mayor and Jaws make a good decision by leaving the beach open?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious that was not a good decision. Clearly, it wasn't enough for him to lose his position as the mayor. If memory serves me correctly, he was reelected in future Jaws movies, he was still the mayor. It just goes to show you how people need to participate a little bit more in local governance. Because if everybody was actually paying attention, he probably wouldn't have been reelected.
Nice. If you were mayor of Whoville, how would you handle the Grinch?
Oh, this is a good one. So first, I think the Grinch has a reasonable complaint about the noise coming from Whoville. Here in town, we have noise ordinances where, after a certain time of night, I think it's 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, you can't be too loud. So if he's hearing all of the Who's down in Whoville from his, lair up on top of a mountain, seems like they are being pretty loud. That being said, it does not, two wrongs don't make a right, does not give you a good reason to go steal thousands of Christmas decorations and presents, right? I think that could have been prevented by helping the Grinch feel more included in the community, so he didn't have to live like a hermit up on a mountain with his dog.
Yeah.
Luckily, he had the dog. But after the fact, certainly that type of I don't know the value of all these gifts, but it seems like grand larceny, probably to me, that number of gifts needs to be handled by law enforcement. It seems like, if memory serves me correctly, he gave everything back and all was well once his heart grew 10 times or 3 times or what. But it all could have been avoided if everybody was just a little bit more inclusive of the Grinch from the beginning.
I agree too.
Right? Yeah.
And then, last question. Is there anything else you want the people to know?
About me? About the town? Anything?
That you really want the people to know.
That the people need to know.
Yeah.
I would say we have a great town here, Rocky Hill. We got a lot of great people here. I have met thousands of them now, knocking on doors and talking to my neighbors. And I just think that we could do a little bit better. I think that we have a lot of untapped opportunities here in town. We have a beautiful river. We have many parks. And we have a lot of great people and a lot of diversity. And I just think we need some new energy and a fresh look at some things to really capitalize on that ongoing. So that people like you, once you're a big shot reporter working for WFSB here in town, or another station, I don't need to single them out, but when you're a big shot reporter, you are enjoying living in Rocky Hill as an adult as well.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Smith, for being here. This is Mama Freya signing off. See you later, Rocky Hill. Bye.